A lot of wives tell me that their husbands say that they are quite disrespectful, and to them, they don't get it. How on earth are they disrespectful? There is no woman who gets married, who wants to stay married, and also wants to disrespect her husband. Like, her intention is not in any way to disrespect her husband. And oftentimes, I've also heard some wives say that their husbands are quite angry with them, especially at home, or their husbands treat them better than they treat other people outside. And I've been able to make a connection between disrespect and anger. Welcome to the Radiant Wife Circle. My name is Eminence, and I am a relationship coach. I teach wives how to build intentional, beautiful, and enduring marriages. Like I said, we'll learn anger management, how to respect your husband, the connection link between the two, and what you can do to respect your husband better. First off, when you feel unloved, what do? You cry. You cry to your girlfriends, you cry to your mom, you cry to your husband, like you're feeling mistreated. For example, when your husband forgets your anniversary, he didn't remember it, it makes you to withdraw and cry. When your husband feels disrespected, what does he do? He gets angry. That's his primary way of communicating disrespect to you. So whenever he feels disrespected, he gets angry. That is to tell you that unconditional love does not guarantee marital bliss. Because unconditional love is your husband's duty to you as his wife. You also have your duty to him as his wife, and that is unconditional respect. So when you are heady, when you are not in your good self, you still expect your husband to love you. You still expect your husband to tell you sweet things, to pet you, no matter your behavior. So that's the same way he expects you to respect him, no matter his behavior. So it is unconditional love and unconditional respect that makes for a blissful marriage union. Now the point is, I know you do not want to disrespect your husband. You and I know that you don't have that kind of intention. There is no one who wants to be a good wife who intentionally says, I'm going to disrespect my husband. However, with all your good intentions, he still gets angry. He still even verbally tells you that you're quite disrespectful, and it doesn't make sense. You don't understand where that is coming from. So we will learn, and I will show you ways you can communicate respect to him. You don't respect someone if you don't show him. And there is a difference between intention and behavior. You can intend A and your behavior will communicate B to him. A man is a lot different from a woman. And if you understand the difference between a man and a woman, it will help you to build the kind of marriage that you want. So when you understand that your intention is a lot different from your behavior, and people don't see your intention, what they see is your behavior. And they judge you from your behavior. And from your behavior, they can get to see your intention. So your intention can be good. The next question you are asking yourself is my behavior communicating my intention? Because your behavior can be communicating something way different from your intention. With that being said, how do you now know when your husband feels disrespected? Because how you respect one man is different from how you respect another man. How you respect your father, or you respected your father and your brothers at home, is a lot different from how your husband expects you to respect him. What is all this? How do you deal with it? I'll tell you a story that can drive home this point. My dad didn't used to eat, God bless his soul, God rest his soul. He didn't used to eat cold food. So whenever we cook and we know when he's coming back, we warm up the food to keep it hot for him to eat. And my husband doesn't care whether the food is hot or is cold. In fact, he even prefers warm and cold food. If the food is hot, he will leave it to at least get cold a little bit before he starts eating. So when I got married newly, whenever my husband comes back, I'll tell him to wait, let me boil the food or let me warm the food. And he didn't understand. He said, give me food to eat. You know what was happening to me? I was treating him the way I used to treat my father. And that is to tell you that how you respect or you respected your dad is a lot different from how your husband expects you to respect him. So how do you find out what it is that he wants you to do to respect him? Number one, look at the anger touch points in your marriage union with him. In your relationship with him, what are those touch points? How did you tell him things? What did you say? How did you respond to him that got him angry? These are the things that you need to be looking out for. If you pay attention to those anger touch points, you can now find out the things that comes out to him as disrespect. However, there are general things you can do as a behavior, you can abide as a behavior that can communicate respect to every man. And I'm going to share 5 of them with you. Number 1, respect your husband in his judgments. Now, when we're talking about judgments, we are talking about decision making. Of course, you are co-heir with him. Of course, you are equal with him, right? However, in every situation, in every relationship, there is always one that calls the shots. And we did not decide to make the man or the husband the leader, the head of the home. It was the sole decision of God to do that. So when there are decisions to make, you bring your own suggestion, your husband brings his own suggestion, but the final decision on what the family will do rests on his shoulder. If you want him to pay attention more to what you say, don't tell him what to do, suggest things to him. So when you want to talk to him concerning things, you can say, honey, I suggest we do this. Honey, how about we do it like this? And not say, I'm telling you, let's do it like that. When you are telling him what to do, it comes as though you're commanding him. And men are a lot authoritative and he might not take it from you. So make it as a suggestion. Now, you can also suggest something to him and he will not still take it. If he doesn't take it, don't throw tantrums, even when the things go bad. Because we're a lot intuitive, we are smart, we are wise. We can see things that will work and know that they will work. We can see things that will not work and know this thing will not work, even when we don't have the logical reason to back up what we are saying. However, don't throw tantrums. Support him when the things go south. Still come back to support him and say, honey, we have learned at least one way not to do this thing. How do we, get out of this? If you have things to say to help the family get out, you say it and then you move on. Because your husband, because you are his wife, does not automatically make you his advisor. Allow him to give you that position. And it's something that you earn. Because if you keep supporting him, over time he will know that, I have a wise wife. Oh, let me go and find out what my wife always says. It always happens. So he will come and seek your advice and he will take it because of the way you communicate and how you have offered support in the past. Now, if you know that there are times that his mistakes will be deadly, there will be consequences. Let's say there will be financial consequences, like on the family finance, on your children. And it's not only him that it will affect. You have 2 choices. Number 1, support him and then keep quiet and allow it to go. Number 2, support him and pray to God, who is higher than him, to guide his steps. You see, life happens. You are just thinking that this thing will work. You could be the one who is wrong. So when you make your suggestion, you talk to God about it. I will always tell everybody out there that there's no way you can be a good wife without you having a great relationship with God. So you talk to God about it. If you know that there will be grave consequences if things go sour in that his decision, God might not stop him because he is a delegated authority God has given over his his household, right? What God could do is to create a way of escape, which you might not see, so that when that thing goes sour, there is a way of escape so that the family is preserved. Another thing you can do is to also talk to a mentor that both of you respect. However, there is something you need to watch here. If in any decision you need to make, or the family needs to make, you make your suggestion, he says no, you go talk to a mentor, he's going to resent it. Because each time you're trying to influence his decision, maybe by talking to a mentor, talking to his father, to his parents, to anybody, even to his friends who you know that he has respect for and can influence his decision, that's a form of control. We don't lead by control, we lead by influence. And when you keep doing that, he's going to, even now when he needs to listen to those people, he might not listen to them because you have abused that privilege. So rarely use mentors, rarely use friends, rarely use the people who you know can influence his decision. Sometimes allow him to make the mistakes, allow him to see the result of his decisions and support him. You're not supposed to train your husband, you're supposed to love your husband, and part of loving him is to see him make mistakes and still support him all through. So do not look down on his judgments, on his decisions. Allow him to make his decisions and support him in the consequences that come out of that decision. That's one way you communicate respect to him. Number 2, do not always correct him. His grammatical errors, the things he did not get well, like you are communicating with him or you're talking with him, you are always correcting him and telling him it's not like this is like that, this is like that. Your husband wants you to be his safe haven. He wants to make mistakes with you or around you and not feel like he has to cover up. He wants to come back to you. So allow him make those mistakes. Don't be that person who is always correcting, especially not at the point where he has made the mistake. You can allow him, be fine, be okay around you. Then afterwards, you come back to say, honey, this is how this thing is done, not like this. This is how this should be. I think, and you mustn't even do it, just allow him, right? Especially when you know that he has some form of complex around him, so that you get your husband to be a lot comfortable around you. So don't be that correcting machine, correcting wife, always correcting his moves. That intention is good to make your husband look posh, to tell him this is the right way to do it, that you want things to be done perfectly well, right? That's the intention. But that behavior of always correcting him is communicating disrespect to him. Number 3, in his assumptions. This is something that doesn't come to us, it doesn't easily occur to us in the way we assume things concerning our husbands, that we can respect him. I will give an example. You got out of bed, you like the bed to be properly dressed, and he was still sleeping, and you just said, baby, when you get up, please help dress the bed. And then you went about your daily activities. He got up, dressed up and left, and he didn't dress the bed. When you come see the bed like that, what do you assume of him? Do you think the worst of him? He has done it again. He didn't do this. He's always like that. My husband is dirty. My husband is like this. My husband is like that. No. Make excuses in your head for him. Even when the things you can see, even when the evidences before you tells you otherwise, make extra effort to think noble things about your husband in your assumptions. Maybe he woke up and he forgot. Maybe he left in a hurry. Maybe he had migraine. There just can be many things that you do not know because you have not heard from him. And if you assume worst things in your head concerning him, it will show in the way you communicate that situation to him. I've told you every time you wake up that you should dress the bed. He will know that you do not think good things about him in your mind. But when you made excuses, you say, baby, did you wake up angry? Or did you wake up with migraine? Did you live in a hurry? You forgot to make the bed. You can hear from him. You will now know, oh, my wife actually respects me in her assumptions of me. This is really, really important. Number 4 way you will respect him or you will show him respect in your behavior is in his absence. How do you talk to people about your husband in his absence? Do you bring him down? Do you tear him down? Is it that each time you want to talk to somebody, maybe to your friend, to your mentor, to anybody about your husband, it's always about the bad things he has done? You don't remember the good things he's been doing to go and report to them. My husband has done this, or he did this, he did that. I'm so happy. You're always complaining or reaching out to them when you have complaints. He is absent. How do you represent your husband? That also communicates respect to him in your behavior. Another one that looks like that, which will be our number 5, is in the public. Some of us, or some wives, when maybe there are things that we need to discuss in the public, their husband is in team A, they are in team Z, not even in team B, they are in opposition to their husbands. It's not wise at all. Even when your husband does things that appear wrong in the public, please, you should not correct him in the public. Support him. And when you come back home, you say, baby, I just supported you because you're in the public. But this is actually what I think. For example, and on a lighter note, when I was a single woman, my brothers, they were Manchester United fans, and I was supporting them. I was a Man U fan. I'm not a football person. But immediately I got married, and my husband is a Chelsea fan. I joined him. I'm not saying you should be in the same club with him, right? But I'm saying in the public, do not disrespect him. You can disrespect your husband by the way you talk to him in the public, even by the way you dress. There are some things that you wear and you know that your husband do not like you to put these things on. Do not put them on to go out. It's a way you communicate respect to him. You see how your intention can be one thing, but your behavior can be communicating other things to him. So we've looked at the 5 ways that you can communicate respect to your husband in your behavior. I have one more thing to share with you, which is a bonus thing to do, and that is to appreciate him. Please appreciate your husband. You can criticize a woman to correction. You can criticize a woman to perfection, but you can't criticize a man to correction. You can only appreciate a man to correction. If you want your husband to do something more, appreciate him in that area. If you want him to do something less, criticize him in an area. Please tone down your criticism of him. It is not helping him. It is not helping his ego. It is not helping his sense of self. Appreciate him. Appreciate his abilities. When he's trying to fix things at home, don't say, leave it now, go and call a carpenter. You are not this, you are not that. He's trying to do things. Encourage him. Allow him to get to the point where he feels that, okay, this is not something I can do. I need to call a specialist to do this. Right? Appreciate his abilities, appreciate his looks. Even after your intimate moment, say thank you. Say thank you. There are things that he's right to provide. When he provides, don't say, is this right now? Why should I say thank you? I know it is your right. I know it is his responsibility. But can you make the emotional ambience of your home a lot more loving by appreciating him? He gives the money, appreciate him. He buys things for you, appreciate him. Just ensure that you tone down criticism in your marriage and do a lot more appreciation. And then to wrap up this podcast, I want to share with you what to do, how to respond to your husband when he is angry. When your husband is angry, the thing you should do is not to also respond to anger. If you respond to anger, you can win, but you can never be your husband's baby girl. Your husband wants you to be his baby girl. If you respond in anger, he will see you as his mother. So when we say do not mother your husband, these are the things that we're saying. If he is angry with you and you respond with, shrinking and withdrawing, you are still not his baby girl. How you can respond to him is to maintain your normal emotional state. Let me paint a scenario for you. He comes back home, the food is not ready, and he's like, I've gone out, I've worked, you are at home, or you are just coming back. Why are you coming back from work late? Why is my food not ready? He's angry. Don't respond with anger. Don't also shrink. Be at a stable emotional state and then respond to him. honey, I'm sorry, the food will be ready. If you feel like keeping quiet is a better way to do that, you can keep quiet. After a while, you say, honey, I'm sorry, please. I got back from work late. I had something I was dealing with. The food will be ready. This, that, 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 that. Don't shrink. Don't go up. Don't go angry. Don't shrink. Just maintain a normal emotional state with him. Afterwards, just keep talking to him as normal. That's why I teach a lot about healing, because you need to have a stable emotional state to be able to do that. And when you do that, what you have done is that you have taken that bile of anger and you've sipped it out of your the condition of that situation, and you've restored peace. If you shrink, that thing is still there. If you get angry, that thing is still there. But if you respond in a normal emotional state, you've actually taken that bile out of that situation, and you can help him to be able to respond in a better way. If you keep responding like this to his anger, you are teaching him that your anger does not flinch me. I'm not angry because you are angry, and I'm not going to shrink because you're angry. I am fine. And guess what? That's what your husband wants from you. A man wants a home that is stable, and that stability, emotional stability, comes from the woman. Go and try this and come back and tell me that this actually works. So if you have any questions, you can ask it in the comments. If you're seeing this on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel, The Radiant Wife Circle. If you're seeing this on Facebook, please follow us. If you have questions, remember to ask these questions. And I want to invite you to our webinar that is happening on the 25th and on the 26th of July, 2026 by 8 p.m. respectively, right? We'll be talking about the roles and responsibilities of a husband and a wife, what is marriage, communication, intimacy, red flags, all of these basic things. So if you're married and you're confused, you don't even know what it means to be a wife, you don't know the things to expect from your husband, whether he's doing well or not, you just want clarity concerning this thing. It doesn't matter how long you've been married, whether 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, or you are just newly married and you want to understand what it means to be a wife. This webinar is for you, and it is absolutely free. You'll find the link in the comment. Please register, and see you on the 25th and on the 26th. Thank you for joining us on this episode on our podcast on the Radiant Wife Circle. I will see you same time next week. My name remains Eminence. See you soon. Bye.